What's going on, everybody? Landon here with Dave at Home Service Business Coach. And this is stage 2, right? So you've either found this in your PDF guide or on our website. Again, if you're on our website, go fill out the little form that you're seeing here on your left or right. It's our gift to you. And the second thing we're going to start to cover is stage 2, which is promote. That means your business is doing 50K or to 250K. Again, give or take, right? And Dave, one thing I want to touch on as well too is that this information comes from, yes, coaching hundreds of people, talking with thousands of people, but all of our coaches here, including yourself, Dave, own their own home service industry, okay? Again, at the time of this recording, which means that this information isn't just what we think is good or what AI's told us or whatever it is. This is like, hey, this is experience the last 15 years in your case, or maybe 16 years, millions of dollars generated with that, and what is working at the time of this recording, okay? So anyways, let's get into here, right? So 50 to 250 promote. No, there's no doubt in our mind, especially once you get to around 150, 200K, you can now start to look at HSBC Serious. We have a coaching program, check it out on our website. Number of employees, 0 to 2, gonna vary, right? Your role, you decided to go full-time into your business, right? Exciting stuff. Timeline in this stage, about 12 months, I would say is a really good kind of timeline. If you start the season at 50K, by the end of the year, you should be at 250K. If you're not, again, that's why we're here. Number of contractors, okay? So we went from 3 million in stage 1 to 1.5 million in stage 2. So the number has been cut in half just by going and reaching 50K. And the two things I want to cover here is our bottom line for what's holding you back in graduating. Then Dave, I'm going to kick it to you. Yeah. Our bottom line when it comes to what you need to do to graduate this stage, what's holding you back? Your business is getting traction as a solopreneur, but it's not yet set up to run like an actual business, okay? And then what you're going to need in order to graduate is you need to get help from an expert so you can scale your company with systems, processes, and strategies to streamline your business. That would be our recommendation on how do I graduate from this. But Dave, maybe let's touch on marketing again. And then I really want to touch on hiring, because at this stage, this is when you're going to look at, you're either first part-time or full-time.
Big deal. Yeah, 100%. So I think there's a big one, as Landon hit on. A lot of entrepreneurs that we talk to, you want to get your business to like 10K a month. For me, I had to hit 100 grand a year to really dive in and do, work on my pressure washing business full time. So this is like a really common stage. This is exciting. You're going home chatting with your spouse. Hey, I think I could probably quit my job and replace my income. Like, it's exactly where you're at. And so that's why we made this resource for you. So to Landon's point on marketing, like, there's no other way to say it. And I mean this with all the love in the world, but like, your brand currently sucks right now. We just see it time and time again. And because of that, because your name is like Bob's Decks or Bill's Window Cleaning Company, it's just like terrible, terrible, terrible brand. And because of this, your marketing is going to attract low-paying customers. And then you're going to go on a Facebook group of pressure washers and start sound off, why is everyone being so cheap, okay? Your brand really starts now where you want to build something out that is best in class and is world-class. And if you looked at here, if you got 40 hours a week to grow your business, I would invest at least 20 of them into marketing and growing your brand. That's your engine that's going to power everything. The other point, and then I promise we're going to get into how to graduate from this, because I want to stay stuck here forever. Trust me, with hiring, you literally tell yourself this every day, okay? I will keep doing all the jobs myself because I'm not confident that I can keep an employee busy year round with enough work. We've got to call out the elephant in the room in home services, and that is an S word called seasonality, okay? Depending when you're watching this, you may be ripping at 10K, 15K months. You're like, I know I can jump into this. It may be peak season right now. If you're a cleaning business or you're a landscaper, May, June, July, good money-making months, okay? If you don't have services through the winter, can get really scary landing in December, January, February. We see it time and time again. So I would recommend looking at bringing someone on to assist you in the busy season so that you can just get your chops with hiring. Okay, I've hired almost 200 people now in my home service business. And so I've gotten really good at interviewing and hiring people, but that's only come on the back of doing over 1,000 interviews. So you just got to start getting your reps in with people, and you're going to find that rock star that you can kind of, lock arms with, and they can really help you to start to buy back some of your time. We're going to talk about that a lot more in stage 3. But right now, the big lift is marketing to get you graduating.
Yeah, and one thing again I want to touch on as well too before we jump to graduation is finance. The money seems to get spent as quick as it comes into my bank account. Currently, I'm not job costing my projects, so I don't know which ones I'm actually making profit on. Again, your brand sucks. You can't charge what you want. You have no idea about your numbers, which means when you go to hire, it's like, yeah, seasonality is a big thing, but then number 2, you're like, well, there's no money in my business. And again, you're probably mixing business and personal finances and salary and the whole works in one bank account. You're like, I don't know. And then guess what? Well, that's why you keep stuck. Yeah. And that's why, again, this timeline from 12 months to go from 50 to 250 turns into 3 years. And you know who you are watching this. Okay, now let's jump into the next one. Booyah. Let's graduate. Okay. The biggest thing that I can tell you about graduating is processes and getting out of your own way. That is going to be the single biggest thing and piece of advice I could give you. Dave, let's rip on, marketing again. Pause this, everybody. Like if you we have it laid out what you should be doing. Dave, maybe touched on the marketing.
Sure.
Let's touch on hiring, and then let's touch on finances.
1, 2, 3. These are really the big 3 problems that we work on with contractors that we work with. Okay, leads, building out a team, and then getting organized business management. Okay, so some really easy lifts in marketing. You want to start looking locally. Okay, investing in these really organic marketing methods where you can really dominate neighborhoods locally. If you actually went out for a drive today and grabbed a coffee, I would wager you can build a pretty rock solid business in like 30 to 40 really affluent neighborhoods where you're picking up every 3rd or 4th house. So that's a big one. Another one, guys, everyone's going online. Maybe it's how you heard about our business. You want to get your Google business profile pumping. Okay, at this stage, you should have at least 50 reviews. You may be watching this with Dave, I already have 150. That's fantastic. But this is a good baseline to be hitting where you actually get some traction and get some eyeballs on your brand. So that's going to be a few simple lifts with marketing, okay? So if you want to take the next step in scaling your business to the next level, you're going to want to check out our Scaling Blueprint program. We've worked with hundreds of home service business owners now all around the world, where we've actually built out the systems for them in their customized branding and provided them with coaching from our 7-figure coaching team. If you want to learn more about that opportunity, then go ahead and click the link right here. The next thing is going to be really getting into hiring. Most job ads, because your brand is pretty poor, like we talked about, you actually don't attract great people who see a career with your company. And this is going to kind of hybrid into stage 3 as you get better at hiring people. You want to have a really good professional job ad, okay? You want to have a great interview process and great onboarding process, training program. There's a lot there. That's actually one of our key modules in our coaching program, where we actually hold your hand and actually help you dial in all these processes. Because this can take, man, about a year is like a good kind of timeline to be at. And Landon, I'm going to give you the last one for finances. What should these guys be thinking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, with finances, where do I reinvest the profits I am earning now into the business, right? And it always comes down, and again, what we have written here is you need to hire a professional accountant because you need to keep accurate books. You need to put money aside for taxes, for business growth, and the slow season. Do you guys see and gals see how everything is kind of interconnected? If I don't market right, I can't charge enough. And if I charge too high, or I think it's too high, even though it isn't, well, I'm not going to be able to close any jobs. This means I won't be able to hire, which means I'll have no money in the account to pay the guys. And then what about the seasonality? And then how do I organize everything? Everything is interconnected here. That's where, again, we don't want to rip on all these. We just want to highlight the key ones, okay? So what I would do, and your step to graduate, is set up job costing to cost out your jobs at the end of each week to learn which are your most profitable services. Okay, that would be the biggest thing for you. Your bottom line here, we have it written down. Knowledge is going to be king. Knowledge is going to be power. So again, like Dave said, we have a coaching program. This is where you're going to start to be able to qualify for it. We're not going to rip on it. Don't worry. The next thing I want to touch on, stage 3. So it's like, Landon, what happens after? You're going to move to stage 3, delegation. Not going to go on that, or I guess delegate. Anyway, same thing here. But if you found value in this, again, we have a podcast, we have a YouTube, we have a whole bunch of free training on the website as well too, and wherever you're watching this, okay? So our gift to you is Scaling Roadmap. The gift you could give to us is just let somebody else know about it. That is the best way we can grow. Those other home service business owners, whether that's an electrician, landscaper, interior cleaning business, plumber, junk removal, like painting, whatever it is.
Yeah, we're not deep diving the trade here, right? Like, you're already a professional at what you do. We're going to show you how to run a real business. And so what we'd ask, exactly what Landon said, just share it out. We want to literally be the household name in the online space for helping trades business owners scale. So even go ahead and share this in a Facebook group you're in with a whole bunch of painters or window cleaners or pressure washers. That would just mean the world to us, because we're over 100 hours, man, creating this thing. It's a lot of time. And so just, all we ask is just, if you're finding value, this stuff's pretty good, just share it out. That's all we ask.
Absolutely. Everybody, we'll see you in the next one. Good luck on graduation.